Myra is 34 years old and works as an accountant, someone who spends her days tracking down numbers that don't add up. The irony is that it took a name stitched into a pink dress to make her finally look at the numbers in her own life. On her daughter Lily's 8th birthday, a box arrived in the mail from Myra's parents, Carol and Roger. They hadn't come to the party. Her mother had called a week earlier to say Roger needed a heart appointment that couldn't be moved, repeating it twice in a way that sounded rehearsed. Myra set a course, like she always did. She was the daughter who made things easy, the one who picked up the phone and agreed before the other person finished talking. The morning was full and busy. Myra had been up since 5, hanging ribbons from the kitchen ceiling, finishing a butterfly cake because Lily had loved butterflies in spring. Her husband Daniel set up a backyard scavenger hunt with clues hidden in jars. By 7, Lily was bouncing off the furniture with excitement. It was supposed to be a simple, happy day. The white cardboard box with her mother's handwriting arrived around noon. Myra sat on the gift table and went back to frosting cupcakes. She had no idea what was inside it. After the friends went home and the house grew quiet, Lily wanted to open her grandparents' gift. Inside was a soft pink dress with small white buttons. Lily loved it immediately, but when her small fingers found the stitching on the collar, she stopped and looked up at her mother with confused face. She asked what it said. Myra took the dress, and her hands began shaking before she finished reading. The name sewn into the collar was not Lily. It was Emily. Emily was Myra's older sister, 3 years older, and the undeniable center of their parents' world. Growing up, Myra watched her mother and Emily move through life like they were the same person, sharing clothes, whispering in the kitchen, doing things together that Myra was never invited to join. Her father, Roger, quiet and unwell, loved her mother more than he loved being fair. So he went along with whatever Carol wanted. The only person who ever really saw Myra was her grandmother, Ruth, who told her once, when Myra was just 12, that because she was a strong one, people would lean on her and forget to say thank you. Myra didn't know what to say then. She just ate her apple. But she never forgot. Being the overlooked daughter made Myra self-sufficient in ways that would later be used against her. At 14, she had to write a full essay just to get new soccer shoes because her old ones had a hole. Her mother crossed out the part about the broken shoes and said she'd think about it. That same week, Emily got a new phone without being asked. By 15, Myra was cleaning tables at a restaurant. At 16, she had her own bank account. She put herself through school at night and built a career finding the things people hoped nobody would find. Every dollar she had, she earned herself. She thought that kind of independence was strength. She didn't realize that it also made her the perfect person to take advantage of. Emily spent her 20s and 30s cycling through failed plans, borrowed money, and late-night crises. She drained her parents' credit cards and pulled heavily from their retirement savings. Then, 3 years before Lily's birthday, she sent a text saying she needed space and disappeared. Carol called the police, but an adult choosing to leave isn't a crime. Carol grieved in Emily's old room with the door locked. The posters stayed on the wall. The bed stayed made exactly how Emily liked it. And even after everything Emily had taken, Carol and Roger never blamed her. In their telling, Emily was simply lost and would find her way back. That was when Myra stepped in. She began paying their mortgage of $1,200 a month, $400 for her father's supplemental health insurance, and $110 for the phone bill. When her mother called with emergencies, a broken water heater, unexpected taxes, Myra sent more. Daniel asked quiet questions about why the insurance didn't seem to cover much. Myra told him it was complicated. The truth was she was afraid to look too closely, afraid of what asking would mean. The dress cracked something open in her. Her mother had also included a card that read, "For our little Emily." That night, Myra couldn't sleep. She texted her mother asking about the name. Carol called repeatedly the next morning. When Myra finally answered, her mother said it was just a name they liked, that Myra was making something out of nothing, and then asked if Myra could pick up more of her father's medication. Instead, Myra opened her laptop. What she found was methodical and devastating. The insurance her father had actually covered nearly everything. The doctor visits cost $42, not $400. Over 3 years, more than $41,000 that Myra had sent her parents had not gone to bills or medical care. She pulled out the records and followed the trail. She went to her parents' house when she knew they'd be out. She used her key and walked upstairs to the door at the end of the hallway, the one that had always been closed, the one that held Emily's preserved room like a shrine. The door was slightly open. Someone had been spending time in there. Inside the closet were boxes of clothes, all in a little girl's size, all with the name Emily sewn inside them. Then she found a folder. It held bank records and letters showing that her parents had been sending her money directly to Emily, who was living in Reno, Nevada. They had known where she was the entire time. Carol had written a note tucked inside that said not to tell Myra because she wouldn't understand. She understood perfectly. She had also been watching her mother's behavior around Lily for months before this. The comments about how Lily looked just like Emily, how she held her fort the same way, the blanket in Emily's colors, the art classes Carol signed Lily up for without asking, because Emily had liked to paint, the braids in Lily's hair when Myra came to pick her up, her mother calling Lily her special girl. Myra had pushed the worry down each time. She didn't push it down anymore. She was still standing in the room when her mother came home. Carol didn't apologize. She said Lily was her second chance and that she looked just like Emily. Myra took her things and left. At home, she told Daniel everything. Then she did what she was trained to do. She built a folder, organized and thorough, showing exactly where every dollar had gone over 3 years. She learned her mother had been telling the extended family that Myra was the difficult one, the mean one. So Myra called a family dinner and brought the folder and the pink dress. She showed her grandmother Ruth and her aunt the records. $38,000 sent in secret to Emily, while Myra was told the money was keeping her father alive. Roger sat quietly and admitted he had known, but felt too tired to stop it. The room went still. The family saw the truth without Myra having to argue for it, because she had the proof laid out clearly, the way she always did at work. She told her parents that she would no longer be paying their bills. She said it without anger as a statement of fact. She told them they could love Emily, but they could not try to replace Emily with her daughter. Shortly after the money stopped, Emily stopped calling her parents. That answered its own question. Lily is doing well. She has a new dress with her own name sewn inside, Lily, in careful stitching. She knows who she is. Myra is learning, slowly, that taking care of people and being loved by them are two very different things, and that the woman who can find where every number went can also find where the truth has been hiding. It just took her longer to look in the places closest to home.